Hey, today this is Dave Whichard, President FFL Velocity. Privileged to have been a Hall of Fame producer, privileged to have a Hall of Fame agency, and things like that. Want to get on and just talk about in home, right? So, in home, just some things I did. It may or may not work. It may not work for you, whatever. But I just kept things simple, guys. Made the calls. One of the reasons why I like dialing the phone myself was I learned what was on the other end. Like I could hear them. I could solidify the appointment. I knew what the house looks like. I knew what I was walking into, all those things. So I dialed the phone myself, right? I kept, so it starts with dial day. I think going in home, you got to have a good dial day. You've got to be in the office. So some things I just want to lay out from a schedule standpoint is number one, be in the office no later than 7, right? 7:15, because you want to be set up and dialing at 7:30, not 8, not 9, not 9:30, not 10, not 12. Like 7:30. Like we start ffldials.com. You go there, ffldials.com. We have a lot of people on there dialing, learning from one another. Top producers like Robbie Wells. We got, Neil McMinn's on there, Tim Van Summeren, Shane Pope, other people like in our business. And there's a lot of people on there like Matt Goodrich gets on and, some other guys. I know I'm going to miss somebody. But anyway, you guys know you're on who you are and you're on every week, right? We should have 50, 80, 100 on there. Sometimes it's a little less than that, but you're learning from different people. You're on there dialing. You can be accountable to other people around you. See, that's the thing. Whether you're in an office or whether you're there, be a part of the team. Why would you not be a part of the team, which is FFL Dials for us? That's what we call it. But there's other people who have teams. So if you're on a team, get on there. We start at 7:30 in the morning. We go all the way to 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night a lot of times. We have other teams that do their own thing, right? Smaller, whatever, and that's fine. But being accountable by seeing someone on there, open up your cameras. Why would you be on a Zoom and not show your face? That's like I'm hiding over here and I'm listening to it on the phone. That doesn't do any good. So get on there so we can see each other just like we're in the office working together, things like that. Now, if you're in an office and you still do that and you're in a dial teams in the office, that's fine. Get on the Zooms as well. So those are some things I would do. If you haven't been through our boot camp, go through our boot camp, prepare yourself, make sure have a lead strategy with every agent. I'm kind of getting off track here, but the thing is, we got to get in home first, right? So we have to have the leads. We have to have a lead strategy. We have enough dials so we can get in front of enough people. So the key is getting in front of people. Now, when I go in the home, I'm happy. I'm energetic. I'm jumping out of the car. A couple things is I always pull the cars close to the door that I want to go into, whether it's a side door, front door, whatever. And if you've had a conversation with the customer and you say, hey, should I park here? Should I park there? What does that look like? You kind of know before you even get there, right? So you have that laid out. When I walk in the home, I want to be happy. I want to show them, hey, this is me, show them my badge, show them the paper while I'm there, whatever. And then, hey, go on in. You want to be assumptive. Hey, Zart, step in. Yes, whatever. Open the door, wave. Hey, how's it going? I'd take a step back and just kind of wave and be happy. Be happy. If you get the door and somebody's trying to let you in, hey, we know we have an appointment here. You want to sit outside? It's okay, dude. If they don't want to let me in, I'll sit outside with them. I don't care. Now, ultimately, I want to get inside. I want to get to a comfortable spot. I want to get to the table. Those are all things of taking control. But at the same time, if I got to show it to them where I'm at, then I will. Like if it's for some whatever reasons going on, something in the house, whatever. But it's important as we make it to be, right? So if we say, hey, I want to sit over here, and you move some stuff off the table, whatever, take control. If the TV's loud, turn it down. If they offer you a glass of water, take it. These are just little tips of things that new agents I'm trying to help here. For me, I was pretty simple. I'll be honest with you, I didn't use I doubt Sean did either. I didn't use a financial inventory sheet. I just used a piece of paper. But I asked the same question. So if you don't know what questions you ask, that's why we have a financial inventory. Their name and, address and whatever, and then, what medicines are on and stuff like that. And again, I didn't get a lot of that either. I wanted to know, have you had a heart attack, stroke, cancer, any other major illnesses I need to know in the last period of time, whether it be 3 years, 10 years, whatever, if I'm looking at a term, things like that. So, and I'm just taking notes, like who's your beneficiary, things like that. But I was in the home, I want to take control, Like I'm looking at pictures as I walk around. Hey, who's that? Who's that? Is that your grandson? Is that your granddaughter? Is that your family? Wow, beautiful family. I mean, just natural compliments, but you're trying to get to know them. If they play baseball, you can talk about that. If they race cars or they're into cars, you see pictures there. Engage in that. They go to church and it's a spiritual thing, and you're like in my case, I'm a Christian. It's easy for me to talk about God and find out what's going on. There's a connection there. I have kids, I have grandkids, so I can talk about that. You know, you know, if you're a fisherman and there's fishing, and find that connection, so that camaraderie. You're not there to be their best friend, but at the same time, it's good to know a little bit about them. Plus, a little bit about their background, and once you get them talking, listen. So be quiet, and then listen. And then when they say stuff, agree. Oh, that's awesome. Great. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? Great. And just be engaged. Good book is it's by Les Giblin, and it is called Skill with People. That's it. Small book. You can get it for like couple bucks, whatever. Skill with People, great book. If you get a chance to read it, listen to it. It's great. But anyway, it can kind of teach you kind of some basics of things, listening better, hearing better, and we're all trying to get better every day, but that's just another book. So I'm sitting in there. I want to pop up my iPad. That's what I did. I pulled down FFL Go. That's what I use. There's other things you can use out there right now. But anyway, I pull that up, and I show the carriers. Hey, these are some of the carriers I work for. We work with 20, 30 of the best carriers out there, and I'll name some of those as I go down through them. Mutual Omaha, Americo. Obviously, we really love them, and I'll tell them why. Aetna, so on, right? AIG if we need it. But those are names that they know, right? So we mentioned those. We mentioned those names, show them that, hey, our job today is to get you covered. The most important thing I want to do is see what you qualify for, and also your budget, right? So you can want this, I can want this, but at the end of the day, it's not up to me, it's up to the carriers. Like it's up to the carriers and it's up to what you can afford to pay for every month, right? So I always use the thing, I'd say stuff like this. I'd say, hey, if you have a savings account, which you probably do, I'm going to assume they do, whether they don't or they don't, makes them feel good. If you're like most people, you're saving a little bit of money every month. What is it you can set aside each month in that savings account that might help you and your family? Because that's really what you're doing, right? What is it? It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to take food off the table. Not going to, affect your light bill, things like that. What you can set aside, you're probably already doing it, whether it's 50, 80, $100 a month, a couple $100, whatever that amount of premium is. I'm saying this to them, obviously. What are you able to save each month? Let's look at it that way. Well, what do you mean save? And I'm like, well, that's what you're doing. You're literally setting aside money over here so you can take care of your family. You mentioned your daughter, you mentioned your son, whoever it is, their beneficiary, as you mentioned them, right? We want to make sure they're taken care of. It's really not about you. It's not about me. It's about them, right? Yeah, we want to make sure they're okay. Of course, you can ask them why they filled the form out, and they'll tell you. A lot of times it's because they want to make sure their beneficiary is okay. They want to make sure that their final expenses are covered. They want to make sure the house is covered if it's mortgage protection, whatever the case may be. So we want to find out why we're there and fill that need, right? And so asking personal questions and getting them to talk more, it builds trust in my mind. The other thing that builds trust in my mind is I would go in and tell them, hey, I have this massive agency. Whether I did or not, it was growing to that, right? I was a part of FFL, big agency. I have staff, so I say that. But if you're on our team, you'd say, hey, we have a full office it's located here, wherever that might be. And we have an office. We have X amount of staff that's there to support you. When I leave here, I'm setting this up ahead of time. I'm going to give you my card, digital card. I'm going to give you my website. I'm going to friend you on Facebook. We're engaged. And I want to make them feel as comfortable as possible and to trust me when I'm in the home. And that's what I'm trying to do in that initial thing that I'm doing in the home. So anyway, that is some things that I start with. And then we kind of go to like, okay, then we get into asking some questions, figuring out what it is they need, what's their health like, asking a few questions, and figuring out which carrier we're going to go through. And then we go to that carrier. So when you're in the home, it's taking control, it's sitting in the right place, it's handling things professionally, but also, again, expressing your heart, being transparent. Some other things I would do is, hey, work hard for my clients. I'm here to help you. I'll be there just like today when something bad happens to you. We're going to deal with the best carriers. We're going to get you covered. We have to put the information in. This is how it works. I'm going to ask you some questions. Based on my professional opinion, things we're going to go into the carrier that I believe is best suited for you, right? We're going to keep you within that budget, whatever that might be. I always aimed a little lower for their budget just because I know it would be more comfortable for them, and making sure that, one of the things I heard, I think it was Andrew say, um, the most important thing is to get you covered, yes, but we also make sure you afford it. Why? Because when we leave here, it's like a dead fly on a piece of paper. If we do all this work, spend all this time together, get you covered and all that. I always like to say some things I would say to people is like, you're one prescription away from not being covered. That's true. Why do you think we ask those questions? Why do we find out what medications are on? Things like that. But I simply ran America, guys. Unless they'd had a heart attack in the last 12 months, stroke, cancer in the last 2 years, anything other major crazy stuff that I'm just, wasn't sure about. I mean, there's only, 7, 8, 10 questions that they have to say no to in the application with America. So if I felt like they were going to pass those based on the questions, I went ahead and ran it, right? Because the MIB would come back and say, whatever it said, and we move forward. Now, obviously, we got to ask the questions, and they have to answer them truthfully and things like that. But if they do, and it comes back, then we're good. We're moving forward, right? So do that, with Aetna and that, and, with Americo and AIG and the way that's set up, for us from bonus perspective, makes sense, right? Work with those carriers. So, and we have the other carriers to fill in, and the gaps and whatnot and things like that. But again, it's finding the best situation for their family, of course, and whether it be cost and making sure they qualify is the key, right? So we got to go through those questions. So anyway, it's having that financial inventory, asking those appropriate questions, and again, I would just ask, hey, how's your health? Right? They'll tell you, right? Okay, is there any cancer, heart attack, stroke, any major issues? If they're diabetic and they're on multiple medications, how many? If they have high blood pressure and they're on 3, that could be an issue. Just you kind of know those things. But how you do it is you go in the home, you figure it out, you write stuff down. If you're not sure, you call the 1-800 number that we have. We have an 800 number. Or you call your immediate manager or leader, whoever it might be, and ask the question. And make sure there's 2 or 3 of them that you can get a hold of. I always like to be available for people when they're in the home. Now not so much because it's, we got a lot of agents out there that are working. Not that I wouldn't take a call. If I'm working directly with you, I would. Sure would. I mean, try this, try that. I can remember when I was in the field, I was calling other agents. I'd call Ben Lau, a Hall of Fame producer, or somebody like that. And it's funny how you call the Hall of Fame producers, or Todd, why? Because they know what they're talking about. Why? Because they've been in front of more people. They've protected more people. They know what they're talking about. So why do you think people come here and want to work for people that are helping 30, 40, 50 families a month? That's why, because they know what they're doing and they can see them working hard. But yet some of us don't want to do that. It's simple work. It's just called work. We show up, we dial the phone, we go see people. We see 7, 8, 10 people a day, whatever we can book. And then we go see them. We door knock in between. We show up with a great attitude. We make it about them, not about us. It's not about the money going on our account. It's about us getting them protected. So those are just some thoughts today on the in-home. Keep it simple. Don't overthink it. Go in there, run Americo, have your financial inventory, ask those questions if that's what you want to do. Me, I just put a piece of paper down, find out who their beneficiary was, what they were looking for coverage-wise. I'd also explain to them if they wanted 15,000, let's just use a number. And I started looking at some numbers. I just pulled up, whatever. And I noticed that if they want a guaranteed issue, it'd be this with AIG. Then you have your other carriers, and you have America, whatever. And I had a range. I would say, hey, we're probably going to get you covered somewhere between this and this. Will that work? Right? Great. Boom. We run it. They're not watching that. You're doing it. You want to see what they qualify for, put them in the best situation for their family, and that's what you do. And then afterwards, you do it, or you have someone in your office. If you have, a real business and you're protecting 30 or 40 families a month, investing back in, you have a real business. It means you have some staff, whether they're a recruiter /admin /social media person, whatever the case may be. First one I would get. And then just, send a thank you card out, follow-up calls, things like that, solidify the business. Ask for referrals if you can while you're in the home. We have the FFL discount card that you can get them. It's free. Sign up for that. Enroll them in that. Get referrals that way. We also have the legacy protector thing. The integrity gives, we use that. And simple fact is, they know people that are going to die is going to affect them. So who do you want us to go see? So those are some things I would just talk about in the home. It's pretty simple. But again, I'm not this over analytical person. I just showed up and ran the coverage, and put them in the best place I could, best situation. Gave them all I could, let them know that, hey, we're going to get you covered. We're going to run, see what the carriers say, and we're good to go, right? So it's setting that stage up front. We're going to ask a few questions. One of the things we have to do to apply is we put our bank information in to let them know, hey, we're serious. If they accept us, then we're saying yes. We find out the final answer. Well, why is that? Because it costs. There's a cost, right? There's a cost to do that. I don't know what it is. MIB, whatever. So cost for doing business, and you're also raising your hand saying, hey, if you take me, I want you to cover me. If you decide to cover me, I want that policy, right? So you filled out that form. So again, and we filled out the bank information, and they're going to be covered. So let's have a great attitude when we go see people. Let's have a great attitude. We're on the phone. It's how we treat people that matters. It's how we tell them what they need to be. It's okay to be mean with people. What I mean by that, direct. You got to get this for your family. You understand if you die, you're going to leave them in this situation. It's okay to be direct with people. That's why you're there. They've asked for your help, and your help sometimes is telling them the hard part, that they need to do this. They need to, hey, they don't have the money, cut their cable off. Like, hey, why do you have cable? Like, it's okay to call people out. Like, you're telling me you're important, your family, leaving them in a bad place is not as important as you watching TV every day. It's okay to do that. So I love you guys. I appreciate you being on, and grateful to have an opportunity with FFL to affect lives. We're just getting started. Integrity is a real deal for people that want to have that opportunity. If you're not with FFL, I don't know why you weren't. We have more partners than anyone, and we will continue to grow. We have great leadership in Sean Mike, Andrew Taylor, and many others. We're going to continue to grow and continue to get better. A great staff in the home office, and Mike Sizer and that whole crew up there. So I just believe we're at the best place. I mean, if you're willing to work hard, no one said it's going to be easy, but it's certainly easier than, just saying, not trying to offend anybody, but digging ditches or doing this or building houses or whatever. That's hard work. Being a plumber, your knees hurt, your back hurt, things like that, or, pest control, or, climbing under houses and, stuff like that. Being a cop and getting shot at or worrying about your life every day. Like, why would you leave this to go do something like that? Because you're scared of hard work? Doesn't make any sense. Zero. But we complain about this and complain about that, but yet people are killing it. Like, they're killing on internet life leads. They're killing it on this. They're killing it on that. But yet then we have people go, well, it doesn't work for me. Well, it doesn't work because you're not working. Like, you have to work. You have to understand there's certain things we have to say, certain things we have to push to get them in a better place. And that's what we're doing. So when you go in the home, you show them, you be direct. Also, I pulled out my calendar. If my calendar is booked, it's always nice. Hey, I've got 5 other people to see today, or 6 other people today. I just saw one, took care of him. I took a picture, show it to him. Hey, I just took care of this client. Things like that. So anyway, those are some things, some basic stuff that I used to do. Hopefully that helps somebody today. Hopefully this makes a difference in your life. God is good. We're grateful to be here. And let's go bless people today. That's what you do. Take your eyes off yourself, focus on others, go serve them, and you can win. Stop thinking about your bank account. Stop thinking about how you're going to take care of things, when if you just go out there and you just go serve, and you do it a lot every day, dial the phone, follow the system, don't complain, have a good attitude, those type of things, you're going to win. So thanks for being on today. Appreciate you. Please subscribe to Family First Life Velocity on YouTube, at Dave Whichard on Instagram would be great. Also have FF Velocity on there as well, and follow us on Facebook as well. So thanks so much for being on today. We really appreciate you, and hopefully we'll continue to just give you some extra content here that can make a day better. And I recommend it. Not me. Listen to somebody. Listen to somebody can make a difference in your life every day. Positive, positive, positive. That's what you want to put in your brain. Stay away from negative. Understand you're going to get up. You're going to fall down. You're going to get back up. You need people there. They're going to reach down and help you up. Okay. Help move and believe in yourself first, and believe in other people. And let's go win together. Thanks.